Ever been so frustrated with Rolex Authorized dealers that you just wanted to yank your hair out? Well, you're not alone in that boat. But maybe it's not all on them. And the problem is you. Lucky for us, we're about to dive into the ins and outs of dealing with Rolex dealers. We're talking about the moves to make and the missteps to dodge to ensure snagging that Rolex is as breezy as can be. So hang in there till the end, because we've got some top-notch advice coming your way that'll equip you with the savvy to score a Rolex without the headache. Let's face it, while plenty of Rolex sellers are fantastic, there are a few who could turn your dream purchase into a bit of a nightmare. It's a real downer, especially when you bump into the types who deal under the table or strong-arm you into buying other pricey brands just to get a Rolex in your hands. That's just not cool, and honestly, it kinda tarnishes the Rolex shine. But, hey, not all is lost. The silver lining is that most Rolex dealers are the real deal. They're all about their customers, committed to stellar service, and big on transparency. Sure, there are a handful of not-so-great sellers out there, but let's not forget that most dealers are huge watch enthusiasts themselves, aiming to give customers an unforgettable experience. Ever curious about what gets on the nerves of the good folks selling Rolex watches? It's something that's more common than we might think, and it drives them up the wall. So here's the scenario. Someone strolls into a Rolex shop with their sights set on those elusive pieces, like the ceramic Panda Daytonas or the Kermit, the ones that are pretty much unicorns in the watch world. And eyeing a Tiffany OP41 or a blue stainless steel Sky Dweller is cool. We're all for a bit of variety. But here's where things take a turn. These shoppers aren't hunting these watches because they've been dreaming about them night and day. Nope, it's the quick cash they're after. They're looking to snap up these rare finds only to flip them for a tidy profit. I mean, snagging a Panda Daytona for $112,000 and then flipping it for a cool $30,000 profit. Sounds wild, doesn't it? But guess what? There are folks out there doing just that, and not exactly with the purest of intentions. They're not in it to savor the craftsmanship or to make these watches a prized part of their collection. Nope, their eyes are on the prize, or rather the profit. So here's their game. These folks stroll into an authorized dealer's store, playing it cool, as if they're not on a treasure hunt for the next big flip. They start off by showing interest in watches that, honestly, don't stir up nearly as much frenzy. Picture them going, "Oh, what's this about a Pearlmaster? And that two-tone lady's date just with the funky dial, tell me more." They pretend to be all in, hyping up a model that's a far cry from the hot-ticket Rolex watches they're actually after. Pretty slick, huh? They act all jazzed about a Pearlmaster or a fancy metal date just for a bit, leading the dealer to think, "Awesome, I can make their day." But then the switch-up happens. "Cool, I'll take this one, but hey, what's the deal with that ceramic Daytona? Can you hook me up?" It's all about bundling for them, trying to pull off the same stunts as those less scrupulous sellers we've all heard about, trying to sweet-talk a solid dealer into playing their game. But here's the thing, it doesn't usually work out. Apparently, this kind of maneuver drives the good dealers nuts because they stand for honesty, transparency, and making sure their watches don't end up as quick flips. We believe in keeping it simple and straight. Honesty rules. Whether you're after a Cartier eyeing a Breitling or can't stop thinking about that Pepsi or the OP41 with the mustard dial, just lay your cards on the table. Now imagine if those sneaky folks were straight up from the get-go, walking in and saying, "Yep, I've got my eye on that Daytona, Sky Dweller, Submariner, because I'm planning to flip them for a quick profit." Let's be real. They wouldn't have a shot at getting those prized watches at the retail price. Being transparent isn't just a nice trait. It's the golden rule that earns you respect in the watch world. These smooth talkers are doing everything they can to get their hands on those hard-to-find watches without paying a premium. But truth be told, the only fair deal you're going to find is from an authorized dealer, at the sticker price no less. Now, wouldn't it be something to see if a reputable dealer decided to play along with these crafty buyers? Picture this scenario. A customer comes in, eyes wide at the array of luxury watches. They start piling up their cart with a Pearlmaster here, a two-toned date just there, maybe tossing in a Cartier and an IWC for good measure. The dealer watches them go to town, racking up a sizable bill, But when push comes to shove and it's time for the coveted Daytona to change hands, the dealer pulls a fast one and says, "Actually, no." It'd be like poetic justice, a teachable moment for those trying to outsmart the system. Of course, this is all in our imaginations. Any dealer worth their salt wouldn't dream of playing such games. But it's kind of fun to think about flipping the script on those looking to make a fast buck off the system, isn't it? In the luxury watch world, integrity and trust are like gold. They're everything. And let's be clear, cutting corners for a quick buck? That just doesn't fly with authorized dealers. We've all heard the stories. Someone pretends to be all in on a less sought-after model just to sneak onto the waiting list, only to flip-flop to the hot ticket watch the moment they get a chance. But here's the thing, it's not just a harmless trick. Dealers are onto this game, and it really throws a wrench into the whole fairness of the waiting list, leaving the true watch aficionados hanging. So if you've got your heart set on snagging that hard-to-find Rolex, sticking to the straight and narrow is your best bet. Trying to game the system? It's just not worth it. Dealers actually dig it when we're up front with them. They respect customers who play by the rules. Twisting the waiting list to your advantage? It doesn't just rub people the wrong way, it shakes up the whole vibe of our watch-loving community. You know those tire kickers? The ones who seem super into every watch, bombard the dealer with questions, but then vanish when it's crunch time? Yeah, dealers have a tough time with them. It's not that they're not up for helping watch enthusiasts dive deep into their options, but it gets to be a bit much when someone hogs all that attention and then bails without making a purchase. If you're really into getting a Rolex, showing a bit of commitment goes a long way. Dealers are more than willing to help you find that dream watch, but leading them on a wild goose chase isn't going to win you any brownie points. And then there's the persistent haggler. We've all seen them. They walk in, lock eyes with a stunning Rolex, and instead of soaking in its beauty, they're straight into trying to talk down the price. Now, while a bit of bargaining is pretty standard in some places, the luxury watch space usually sticks to set prices, what with the exclusivity and all. Dealers totally understand everyone's looking for a steal, but relentless haggling can really sour the vibe. They're all about preserving the brand's prestige, and too much bartering over a Rolex might just rub them the wrong way. It's not just about the price tag, it's the craftsmanship, the value, and the top-notch service you're getting from the dealer that counts. It looks like the consensus is clear. Most authorized dealers are playing it straight, and they're not here for any shady maneuvers. So if you've been bending the rules, maybe it's time to rethink that strategy. Now, before we call it a day, we'd love to get your take. How do you feel about these undercover operations to land those hard-to-find watches? Ever found yourself trying to play it cool to get your hands on that rare find? Or maybe you've had a standout experience with an authorized dealer that's worth bragging about. Drop your tales in the comments. And don't forget, for more nuggets of wisdom like this, hit that like button and subscribe to Opulent Oasis. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we can't wait to catch you on the next episode.